Okay, so this is the Philip Johnson Sculpture Gallery. It's in New Canaan, Connecticut. It is a gallery on his property, Philip Johnson property, that he used to house his sculpture collection. Wealthy guy. And he actually did a whole series of projects on his property. The glass house is one of them. It's a canonical project. The sculpture garden, though, is the one that we're going to be concerned with. It was built in 1970. It's approximately 2,000 square feet. So you can think of that in relation to our projects. Roughly what, 3 times the size of our gallery space. And it's also on a slope. The site is sloped. There is a nice retaining wall right here that allows for a flat landing for the entry. And it's all lit from above. So it has this metal structure that supports all this glazing in the ceiling. And so in direct light, there's this pattern, right, that's projected on the interior of the gallery. It's pretty striking. Works well for a sculpture gallery. I imagine it wouldn't be so good for painting or photography gallery. Yeah. And if you look at it a little bit here, the interior space is terraced with the slope of the site. So that's pretty nice. Let's see what else. The form is relatively simple. If you if we look in our top viewport, and then we go into the Philip Johnson Gallery layers, you can turn off everything except for the geometry. And you can see that the geometry can be boiled down to 2 squares, one that's rotated on a 45 from another. And if you bisect them, you get the position in one in relation to the other. And if you look at that superimposed over the plan, you can see it lines up fairly well. I imagine you could do a more formal plan analysis than this. But the plan is interesting in that it's the corners are kind of dog-eared, right? So there's the corners are subtracted right triangles in plan. And I think that allows, and we've talked a little bit about this, but I think that allows for a really interesting interior or experiential space, right? So as we enter in through the front door here, we're viewing down into the sculpture gallery, and then we can descend to these pockets of these little pocket galleries at the perimeter of the building. And you continue to descend, and this is actually a little bridge. So there's the reception, the first pocket gallery, second pocket gallery. Here's the gallery, the base gallery floor, and then a tunnel into the final gallery here. And underneath the entry, there's actually a bunch of storage space, right? So super functional, really, really interesting plan. And you can see how that plan really provides for the experiential qualities of that space. Then if we look at this building get back to kind of a bird's eye of this building, we can see that the roof is actually where a lot of the complexity is. It's a gable roof, which is a fairly simple typology, but it is rotated And if we look in the top view, the ridge beam is rotated on the 45. And that makes for a unpredictable massing for this project. And that, and you, as you're walking around this building, you get for a dynamic view that's always unrolling and being different, right? So think about your simple like gable house massing. It basically has two different elevations, right? The gable elevation and the rake elevation. This project, every elevation is completely different. And again, it's a combination of the plan profile or shape, which we've been talking a lot about, as well as the gable roof. So when you're all working on your projects, really think about what the shape of your roof is, right? And remember, you can get really complex massing out of really simple typology like the gable. This is obviously lit from above, and similarly, we're asking you to light your galleries from above, right? So I think in a way, this is a pretty interesting precedent for what we're doing right now in Studio.